In this video today, I have 11 ways for you to save money on the mechanicals in your rental property. So I'm Monique Burns. I am on the board of my local RIA group, Real Estate Investors Association of Oakland, as in Oakland County, Michigan. And we invited a local, I would go so far as to say celebrity, Austin, to come do one of our tables. Now, Austin is such an interesting person that people love to pick his brain because he has 57 of his own rentals and he does everything himself for his own rentals. He does all the renovation work, all the work in the houses, and he learned that he's pretty good at furnaces, so he went ahead and got himself a license to be a heating and cooling guy, and then he went ahead and got a builder's license, and while he was at it, he got a pest control license so that he could get a hold of certain chemicals. Wait till you hear number 11 on this list. So Austin was dropping this information last night, and it's all stuff that you could really use. And I was thinking, how many people come into Detroit and they don't know these things? And somebody asked me recently, what kind of investors bother you to work with? And it's people that don't listen to what's in this video today. Because my husband and I have been buying houses since 2007. These are the practices that we live by ourselves, but they're not necessarily intuitive to new investors or to an out-of-state investor. It's things that typically people learn from years of experience that they don't even know to ask, but the savings are absolutely incredible. So right now, my husband Pat and I, we buy distressed properties, we renovate them, and we sell them to investors from all over the country and all over the world. If that is something you're interested in, definitely contact me and we can set up a time to talk. I also have houses for sale. And if you would rather just email me, you can email me and I can give you a list of what I have for sale. So let's get into this video with Austin.
Sorry. I'm Austin from AJM Heating. I have a heating and cooling company and I have 57 rentals. So that's how I got into this, was the contractors had too much money and didn't know what they were doing. So I started the company. Actually, before that, I started doing work for other people and I was like, wow, this is actually profitable. I can help people out. So I started the company. So I'm pretty knowledgeable with with all the trades, plumbing, electrical, building. So the number one tip is you don't call for anything you need for your house. Don't call anybody that's on an advertisement or a big company because you're paying for marketing, overhead, sales commissions. You want to go with a smaller owner-operator company. For example, if it's a furnace, find a couple small companies, get some quotes, and find that somebody knows what they're doing, and stick with them. I find that a lot of the technicians in the industry are dishonest, or they don't really know what they're doing. So they'll go in their furnace, ask for they recommend a replacement when you don't need one, or replace a bunch of parts that aren't needed. So what they'll do is like, it's a pressure, it's a blipping gas valve or something. Oh, it's a control board. Well, it's actually not. That's a symptom of let's say a pressure switch or a blocked port. So whenever somebody changes a control board, I'm always asking, was it really bad, or was it a symptom of something? And yeah, so I never trust anybody in the industry on anything. I'm sure you guys have experience.
That was a big statement.
Yes. So in terms of maintenance on your systems, change your filter. So it's a 4-inch thick filter every year, 1-inch thick every 3 months. Hose your AC down once a year. Call when it breaks. You don't need to do tune-ups or anything. That's kind of a scam to get in there and sell stuff you don't need. Just call when it breaks.
Dude, what did you say? Call in the brakes?
Call us when your furnace or AC breaks.
Call us when it breaks. Oh,
Yeah. You don't need to do like a tune-up. It's not really necessary.
Wait. If you are enjoying this video and you are seeing the thousands of dollars of savings, the best thing you can do is push that subscribe button, because every Saturday I'm dropping more information to make you an even better investor.
Then for rental properties, you want base equipment, 80% equipment. High efficiency is a negative because you have a lot more failure points, costs to install, failure modes. like if you don't run a filter in them, they will clog the secondary heat exchanger. 80% furnaces, yeah, they're pretty solid. You're going to get outlawed, I think, in about 3 years. They're trying to ban them, but for now, we still can use them. Same thing with water heaters. Cheaper, low efficiency water heaters are the way to go. Less failure points. Anything fancy, you have a lot more failure points.
Why are they trying to ban them? Gas?
Yeah, because it's 60% more gas usage. But all the changes in HVAC systems in the last 10 years are driven by energy requirements. And it's not good for the consumer. So in some cases, you may save ECM motors on a furnace. You save $50 a year in electricity, but that motor might be another $600, and you might fail 3 times as often. So the ACs have big changes last year in regulations. So now we have flammable refrigerants. You have to have flammable vapor sensors, things that can go wrong. The furnace has ECM motors, more speeds, more things go wrong. So it's not good for the consumer. It's only getting worse. Same thing with appliances, washer dryers. They're designed to last through the warranty period and not much longer. So in terms of your system in your house, I recommend Goodman because the parts are available and easy to get. The quality of all the manufacturers are about the same now, but there's certain brands like Lennox, Carrier, where the parts are really expensive. They triple, quadruple the cost, so you want to stay clear of those. Any fancy furnaces, fancy features, you don't want. Just more failure points. It's just a sales tactic from a salesperson to upsell something almost more of a negative. Yeah, go ahead.
When it comes to multi-units rehabs, nowadays you see a lot of developers put those heat pumps on the roof rather than installing a furnace in each individual unit. I'm hearing two very different narratives. One side, the manufacturers claim with the cold winter here, you still can have a properly functioning heat pump and with longevity and so on, and no worries. And the other people are saying that the cold winter weather condition, those heat pumps, even with auxiliary electric heater, are not good. So
Yeah, if I had a heat pump in my house, I'd be throwing it out right away. Just throw it out, put a furnace in. It doesn't belong in Michigan. Nobody knows how to work on it. You have a heat pump, and technicians come to your house. What is this? Here's put a new furnace in. So even in Florida, people don't. They break a lot. Reversing valves. You have heat strips in Florida, so I don't see any reason you want to have it here.
What even is it, Austin? What is a heat pump?
Heat pump. Okay, it's basically an AC that can heat your house. But they aren't very efficient in cold weather, so they don't make sense in Michigan, and we have natural gas. So,
like the Mitsubishi one?
Yeah, I just don't see why anybody would want that here. There needs to be a really good reason, like you have a room where you can't run ductwork to it, and you have no other option. Yeah, I can see that, but for most houses in Michigan and basements, you can run ductwork. You already have ductwork, so...
Yeah, I see it putting like 20, 30, 40 of them on top of the roofs. And when you go to Midtown and downtown Detroit, all these rehabs of large apartment buildings, they do that out of a space issue. But it's the question of, okay, you're going to install them, go away. What the owner will inherit in 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, so there was, well, it's kind of, all these tax credits are going away now, but they were getting tax credits for the heat pumps, so, and they don't care about the end user. So we had a customer in this RIA group that had a heat pump installed 5 years ago and it broke and they couldn't get any parts. So we ripped it out and put a furnace in. So that goes to show 5 years old and you can't get the parts. That's a problem. But the manufacturer, they couldn't help them. So it's good until it breaks. And those units down there in 10 years, they're going to have major problems with that. They're going to be replacing those. So, so serviceability is important for all this. And then, another question came up on the last group was adding AC on a property. So what does that add in value? It's about $4,000 to add AC. You get about $50 or $75 more in rent per month, and you can tell your tenant, I'll put an AC in. You can justify the rent increase. They'll last at least 20 years, and you get better tenants, better rent. But in all my rentals, I've been putting ACs in, dishwashers, disposals, all the amenities that you would want in your own house. You want that high-end tenant with a difficult rental market now. You got to have those amenities to be unique for somebody else. So that's the easiest improvement you can do. I think 4,000.
That's really good because I see people with like permanently fastened, conditioners in their window, and that's just the way they're used to living.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinks that it's going to be like that, that accessible.
Yeah. So the window ACs, I've had people break windows. You got all the problem, water. But another thing, there's a lot of things to think about: resale value, tenant retention, turnover. I had people that move out of the house because there's no AC. So what's the turnover cost? Humidity, you get mold in the basement and the walls. All those issues go away. And you don't have to be too secure about maintenance on it. They're pretty solid for. You do some small components after 10 years, but major components usually about 20 years. So, and once the AC is installed, all the electricals there, you can replace it. It's cheaper in the future.
Is it only to place it as forced there?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have forced.
Ductwork, sorry.
Yeah, if you don't have ductwork, if you have a boiler, you have a lot of other problems. It's very expensive. The repair. Nobody knows how to repair. I mean, it seems like everyone pays about $1,000 every time a boiler technician comes in your house. So usually the first thing I do is rip the boiler out, put furnace AC ductwork in, and be done with it. It just when you buy a house, there's a boiler in there. You can factor that into your cost. So really expensive to operate, maintain, and not many people can repair them anymore.
So if we have a boiler house or a radiator house or heat baseboard house, how much is the cost for us to
it's like
convert that into?
12,000, 15,000. That's the problem. So just don't even buy the house. The lesson learned is just factor it into your purchase price.
The boiler works, it works, right?
Works until it doesn't work, and then you have to make the decision: are you spending $6,000 to replace the boiler in a bind, or do you want to just put all the ductwork in? So, but usually when it breaks, it's 0 degrees out, and you're pressured to just put the boiler in, and you're stuck back with it. But I remember I ripped my boiler out in one of my rentals. The best thing I ever did.
The boiler itself is not that expensive. The major issue are the water leaks to deal with because you have just plumbing going everywhere. Yeah, when you have the boiler leak, you have the moving warm water going through every single room. They can leak. And it's an old house, then you have a lot of leaky pipes again. That is normally the more expensive problem with the boiler.
Yeah, once they leak, then all of a sudden you have more problems like inlet regulator and check valves, and all these things get seized and break as they get corroded. So those things sometimes we replace them every couple of years. It seems.
Where do they break and leak? Like at the
You have pipes. For example, I bought a house 15 years ago, my primary house in Franklin, and it has floor heating. It had floor heating. So there are essentially every foot in the floor, there's a copper pipe or inside the port complete floor that is warm water going through. So it's an amazing feeling. It's not comparable to furnace heat. It is convenient, it is homogeneous heating, it's amazing until it doesn't work. I had a leak under the kitchen, so they had to rip out the entire kitchen, bring jackhammer in the kitchen, dust up the floor, replace that much piece of pipe. Insurance was happy to pay $70,000 for the first time, but the second time that it leaked, I was like, I don't want to even get to the insurance. I ripped out the boiler.
Rip it out. That's the solution. Just rip it out. And you have no AC with boilers, so
How do you feel about boilers, Austin?
I don't like boilers.
Second question. Somebody purchased a slip house and all the ductwork has been done under the slip foundation. What do you do? And it's all jacked up.
Yeah,
Repeat your question.
so under-slab ductwork, you see that in Oak Park, and The problem it's good until it's not good. So it's good until you get a leak and water goes in it. So I had a customer, their house in the summertime was like 80% humidity, in the wintertime it's like 80% humidity, and like what's going on? So I found out the ductwork was flooded. So so it's like a constant humidification. So the only solution is to rerun new ductwork through the attic. So you have to be careful. You see a house with under-slab ductwork, assume you have to replace it. Put in your budget.
Oh no.
It really depends on your water table. Because if your water table is really high, you might be lucky, but it depends on where the water table is.
I don't really have the problem right now, but I'm kind of foreseeing that sometime coming in the future. It's kind of broken already. Here and there in between.
It's broken.
So they actually ran it in the slab.
Yeah.
I have to seal it.
Yeah, it's like the clay pipe, like your sewer line. They would do it with clay pipe.
Yeah, I have to seal it.
It's not waterproof, so as long as it doesn't leak.
So far, not leaking, but.
But I'm also looking at some other solutions for that. Maybe like a sump pump, like a drain tile, might be able to add or something. Because it's not like as deep as the basement. It's only down like a foot, so.
More house, more problem.
Yeah. I don't really advertise it, but for example, I think some people in this room had sewer problems. You get the roots in the sewer and they replace the sewer line, but I've only had to do that one time. The rest of the time I have a machine I can inject the sewer with a shaving cream foam with a herbicide to kill the roots. So that was one of my favorite things to do in a rental property.
You're famous for this. I've heard this discussed at meetings before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's famous.
So
I know. This is awesome.
Everybody knows about how he's killing his roots. I was unlucky, so I didn't know him before I had the problem, so I dig the ground, but you should know me before, man.
yeah.
But it's not a thing you do for people regularly.
I used to, but not all the time.
It's not your business.
But
But if they want to do it themselves, how do they do
you
it?
can't. You have it's a restricted herbicide. You can't.
Oh, I shouldn't be recording this.
I got a license for it.
All right, that was it. Thank you so much for watching.